Yeah, Matrix Resurrections. There we go. I got it out. I'm really excited to talk to you guys about this movie, man. This is going to be a lot of fun. I think you guys are going to enjoy this one a lot. Make sure to hit that like button for me. Subscribe. Help us reach, guys, 500 subscribers. Tell your friends. We're going for 500 in 5 years. This is our 5-year anniversary, y'all. Our 5th year of doing Select Screen. And let me tell you, it's been a blast. I've really enjoyed doing this stuff on the channel with you guys. It's just been so amazing. So we're looking for a
flawless victory.
That's right, we got the sounds rocking. We are going full blown with making this stream as interactive as possible. Make sure to check out in the description. We've got lots of interactive buttons in there as well. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cash App, and Apple and Spotify podcasts. Definitely check us out there as well. Lots of good news coming up. Lots more collaborations with other streamers. It's going to be an amazing... It's already been an amazing year. So I hope you guys are ready for it, man, because I'm definitely ready. So with that being said, I'm ready. You're ready. Let's go. Yeah, man, let's get into this thing. The Matrix Resurrections. I'm probably going to call it Revolutions or Reloaded or one of the other R words that these movies have been going through. I want to start off from the jump talking with my man RL. RL said, don't watch it. Last time we were streaming. Don't watch this movie. And I was like, what? What do you mean? Let me give you my background on The Matrix, man. I saw the original Matrix movie with my parents well after it was in theaters. I saw it actually at home, so it was out on DVD, not even Blu-ray back then, on DVD. And instantly, my mind was just like, it was like,
emotional damage.
It just, I'm telling you, it blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind. I really enjoyed the first Matrix movie. So much so that as me and my wife were dating, we watched the Matrix, the original Matrix movie, over 200 times. I was so busy. I have a book of all of the possibilities that I thought could happen in the sequel to The Matrix. And I was super excited to see what happened. And we all know what happened next. The Matrix Reloaded. We saw that. DJ says The Matrix sucks in 2022. We're getting there. Let's talk about... So let me give you my reviews of those. I won't even give you my reviews. I'll just say I really enjoyed the original Matrix. Matrix Reloaded. I really liked the fight scenes. I really liked that movie up until we got to the Architect. That really was like, oh crap, what have we done? And then Revolutions. I didn't love the Merovingian stuff, but I liked, again, a lot of the action in the movie. So while the second two weren't as good as the original, of course, I appreciated that the fighting was still on par. And that it was super interesting to watch. You know what I mean? DJ said, Select, this Matrix is worse than Blade Trinity. Yikes. Now, here's my thing. Let me go back, since you brought that up. When I initially watched Blade Trinity, I liked it. I was young. But I really liked Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds was on that, like, just incline, right? He couldn't do any wrong.
Flawless victory.
He was just always winning, right? So, but then after DJ and I started talking, I went back and watched that for probably the second or third time. I actually watched all of the Blade movies kind of back to back over the period of 3 nights, and yeah, it's not a great movie, especially comparing it to the first one, right? So The Matrix, how does The Matrix compare, first of all, to Blade Trinity, since he brought that up? I would agree with you. I would say that Blade Trinity is better. Why? Because Blade Trinity still had some good fights in it. I think one of the most disappointing things with this movie is the fight scenes. And I keep bringing that up because, yeah, here's how I'm going to format this. Let's start with the negatives and the positives, but before we even do that, I'm going to give you guys my grade. DJ says Ryan Reynolds' R.I.P.D. movie is meh. I didn't mess with that one. So my rating for this movie is a C-. I thought it was okay. It was okay, and I'll tell you and explain why I thought this movie was just okay. First of all, again, The Matrix used to be my favorite movie up until Spider-Man came out. The fights are just not good. They're just not good. We all know Keanu Reeves can do so much more. You know, I don't even like the look of Neo. You know, he's supposed to be a game programmer. And this is a spoiler review, so let me say that. Blade Trinity, I would give a C, a solid C. He looks like John Wick. You put glasses on him and he becomes Neo. It just didn't work. He should still look like Neo, and he didn't. The cool costumes weren't there. You know, I know we're not in the plastically leather era anymore, but I mean, he's wearing a suit jacket and a black t-shirt. It just, the movie overall feels like only one of the Wachowskis came back, which they did. There was only one Wachowski. There's a lot of meta jokes. DJ said because Keanu Reeves don't shave. You know, the shaving doesn't even bother me so much. But at some point in time, Neo had that specific look. And like I said, it's the costuming. He was, you know, he always kind of had the kung fu kind of look to him in the second movie. Those are things that they still kept the aesthetic in the second and third movie. And I feel like this movie didn't do that. There's a lot of on the nose, like they flat out call out Warner Brothers, sorry. It just, I don't know. It was just a little too on the nose. Now, I know The Matrix can be very confusing at times, especially when you get to the second and third one. But, I mean, the main pilot or captain in this one, her name is Bugs. And she literally says, yeah, Bugs, like bunny, but, you know, like hacker. And then at one point in time in the movie, she says, "What's up, Doc?" And I was like, bro, what have you guys done to The Matrix? that bothered me so bad. What up, Doc? Like, come on, WB. And that was bad. Now, my other two negatives, I think you guys can see why I gave this a C-, and then we'll go into the positives. Two of my favorite characters in The Matrix, Agent Smith and Morpheus. And if you didn't play the game like most of us, The Matrix Online, Morpheus died apparently in that game. And in that game, everything is canon. And so in this movie, they bring Morpheus back as a different actor. The guy who played one of the villains in Aquaman. And his performance isn't bad. But this movie leans so much into nostalgia. So much so that they're showing you a lot of the original Matrix film. Like, they'll have flashbacks and it flashes to Lawrence Fishburne as Morpheus. And I'm going, okay. But then within the movie, he's Morpheus, but he's not Morpheus. He's a machine. And that just doesn't work. The same thing with Agent Smith. Agent Smith is so specific. Hugo Weaving, I believe, played him. He was so brilliant in that. In all three movies. He was brilliant in that movie. And to recast him, you can do it in The Matrix. I get what they're trying to do, but it didn't work. You're leaning into this whole everyone looks different, but everyone doesn't look different. If they would have not used Carrie Ann? If they wouldn't have used Carrie Ann and Keanu Reeves, then that would be different. But they use them, but not use Agent Smith and Lawrence Fishburne. Hugo Weaving and Lawrence Fishburne. It just takes you out of it. It takes you out of it. DJ says Jack Butt Forever will be better than The Matrix. Apples and oranges there for me. Apples and oranges. Then the biggest thing is with the four main characters of this story: Trinity, Neo, Morpheus, Agent Smith. They all have lanes and roles that they play, right? That's kind of a big thing in The Matrix. And making Trinity basically the one, along with Neo still being the one, it's like they're the two. That's weird. That I have a big problem with that. I have a bigger problem with one thing in this movie that really dropped it. Agent Smith does not know, like, he's not aware that he's in the Matrix yet. Neo doesn't either, right? Mr. Anderson. Notice I called him Mr. Anderson, not Tom. Agent Smith is calling him Tom throughout the movie, right? There's a moment where he picks up a gun and he yells, Mr. Anderson. We've got it. All right, Agent Smith is back, right? He's Agent Smith now. From that point on, Agent Smith should no longer call him Tom. It's the attention to detail. He should always refer to him as Mr. Anderson. And he doesn't. And that's what I'm saying is just a huge problem. The movie loses its soul at certain points. It just loses its soul. The things that made the original three, all three of them, you just don't have in this movie. Now let's move to the positive. DJ says, you're going to review Sing 2. I gave it a 6 out of 10. Ooh wee. Actually, Jumpin' Jubilee has a review on that coming up. She wanted to review that one. So I will have that out very, very soon. The positives of this movie is, believe it or not, is Neo and Trinity. When Neo and Trinity know who they are, they're amazing. There's something about that chemistry. They just work. Flat out, they just work. And I love seeing it. It was great. Another positive that I really, really enjoyed about the movie is the fact that Keanu Reeves still kind of plays that I don't know where I'm at, kind of role. He plays the role so well. I really enjoyed that. Let's see, what else did I really like? There's one other thing, and I'm totally... I liked that they brought back some of the other characters. That was the other thing. The Merovingian, if I say his name right, we got Morpheus' girlfriend, Jada Pinkett Smith, back. Just seeing them older and grizzled, and they've gone through things over these past 6 years. I really appreciated that. And then I'm going to go back to one last negative. The movie basically turns into a zombie film. And The Matrix isn't about zombies, but effectively we get zombies. Like, they call them the Horde or something like that. And it's just like, man, can we just get Agent Smith back on screen here? Can we get a Hugo to come back and just really duke it out? That's what I wanted to see. Here's my pitch for, well, let me say this. Here's my pitch for The Matrix 5, because I think at some point in time, they'll think about doing it. It might be 5-10 years from now. What should have happened in this movie is this new crew, similar to Bad Boys, right? This new crew goes and they pull Neo out of the Matrix. Then that's the whole first act of the movie. The second act is Neo going and getting Trinity out of the Matrix, right? They get her out, and then the third act should have been getting Morpheus back. That's a simple 3-act structure. Then we could have been back to square one, and you have a brand new trilogy. I think that's pretty simple. They really convoluted everything. It just really didn't work out that way. I wish it would have. Good night, sweetheart. Oh, that's okay. Good night. Love you. Man. So I gotta give, like I said, there's some good things in the movie. Some cool concepts. I liked the newer cast to a certain degree. I just feel like they needed more. And I like where they were going. It just took a hard detour when it hit this whole zombie apocalypse. Everyone's a hive thing. Is it worth seeing if you got HBO Max? Absolutely. In theaters, I think so. If you like The Matrix, it's worth it. Zed's here. What's up, Zed? Says, Zed's on YouTube. That's what's up. I basically ranked the Matrix movies in the order that they came out. 1, 2, Reloaded, 3 Revolutions, 4 Resurrections. I would completely agree with that. Completely agree. They've slowly become worse. It just, I don't know. Like I said, it feels like one of the Wachowskis was just not a part of it. Just to kind of keep that soul and that gel of it. You know what I mean? That's what was missing. The whole, he's a video game programmer and all that stuff, all of that was fine. But when we just got to this whole, I mean, we spent just the longest time of them trying to figure out that the Matrix was a video game. I feel like we stayed on that way too long. There's pacing issues. There's just a lot going on. And again, the nostalgia thing. There are certain scenes in the Matrix that are obviously famous, right? Neo on top of the building dodging the bullets. We didn't get that. We got right? We got him stopping the bullets. Now think about this. Yes, it's been 60 years. Yes, he isn't as powerful, but they took away his flight. That was huge. And that was so huge. Him stopping the bullets in the first movie. That was huge. But he did it in a different way. It was so effortless. Even though he didn't know what he was doing. You know what I mean? So he's really reverted further back than even where he was in the first movie. Another thing that just, how do you miss this? The scene where Trinity and Neo are going to save Morpheus. That is just the most high impact. The techno-y music, it was just everything. It didn't happen in this movie. The music was so orchestral, and it just didn't fit. Zed says somehow the special effects of the original film 1999, which made it so special, are better than 2021 Resurrections, and I agree with that as well. I think that's the biggest thing and that's the biggest complaint that I saw online was when The Matrix came out, while it was influenced by other movies and other forms of media, it influenced generations. Bullet time was in commercials. It was in video games. It was everywhere. Everybody was doing bullet time. There was nothing in this movie that did that again. And that's really disappointing. Now, you could say Reloaded and Revolutions didn't do that, but I disagree. If you look at that scene with the agents, Agent Smith, where he's fighting them with basically a pole, that scene was crazy. Right? It probably doesn't hold up that much, but it was crazy the way that scene looked. Then they did it again in Revolutions, but then it was in the rain, which made it harder to film and look correct, and they were just revolutionary films. That said, Reloaded and Revolution had great action scenes still, unlike Resurrection. Exactly. And that, at the end of the day, The Matrix is a kung fu movie. And if you don't give me, you didn't bring back the original choreographer, you don't give me amazing fights, that's going to tank the movie. I love what Zed has said as well. The original film was revolutionary. This film was just a cash-in. And not only was it a cash-in, but they kind of took it to another level. And what I mean by that is they made fun of themselves for cashing in. They were like, we know this is a cash-in. You know it's a cash-in. But we're going to talk about it. And it was just like, we don't need to talk about it. Give me a good movie. And I just feel bad for these actors. I really do, because all of them, they all had potential. The potential was really there, but if you're going to undo the third movie, which I gotta say, I feel like the third movie needed to be undone a little bit. You can leave Neo dead, but you left him blinded. You left him, it was really, it stunk. It just sucked the way Neo was left off, right? It really gave me some
emotional damage.
And so I see what they were trying to do there. They were trying to restore some things, but when you don't have, you got to get the original actors back. I'm sorry. If Hugo Weaving says, I can't be in this movie yet, wait on the movie. Don't recast him. Zed nailed it on the head. I don't mind the idea of meta stuff, but none of it landed. And that, again, The Matrix, when it can get too deep, right? It can go too far for a lot of people, and it can lose people in the meta. But this was so surface level. It was like, they were like, hey, let's back off being extremely deep and let's go surface level. And it was like, whoa. We can't just sit here. I mean, okay, my last negative is the post-credit scene. First of all, it has a post-credit scene. Why? When you're going to go back inside the Matrix to people who are not Neo, Morpheus, Agent Smith. Like, what happened to Agent Smith at the end of this movie? He just kind of, he's gone. Or Trinity. Instead, they go back to the guys pitching a game. And I just go, man, what in the world? Zed said I would have just preferred Neo having middle life crisis for the whole film. Exactly. And as I pitched again, Zed, maybe before you came in, but they should have looked at Bad Boys for Life. Bad Boys for Life did a soft reboot correctly. They had nostalgia in it. They introduced new characters and a new crew, but they assisted the legends. And all they had to do again in this movie, guys, is that new crew saves Neo out of the Matrix in the first act. Second act is how do we get Trinity? Third act is we get Morpheus, or vice versa. Maybe it's Morpheus. Maybe it's Morpheus first, and then Trinity, and then they're trying to get Neo out. Maybe Neo didn't need to be in the movie as much. That would have been the way that you restart this series and leave it for a place where once you get Neo, Agent Smith shows up, Hugo Weaving shoots for a day, and all he does is show up and say, Mr. Anderson. That would have gave me chills. Whew. You know what I'm saying? They go through all this whole process of fighting the machines, and they get him out, and it's just like, here's the shot. The shot is Neo standing there. So he's standing here, right? We're on him, and this is the photographer in me, or videographer in me. We're on Neo. It pans back, and we get a pair of shoes, shiny shoes, walked in. Cuts to black, and we get, hello, Mr. Anderson. Boom! I just made $1 billion right there. That movie would have been dope. Zed says, I would have just preferred... Oh, yeah, the midlife crisis. So that's my thoughts, guys. The movie is just... It's middle of the road. I think I gave... it's just a C-. It's... The only reason this movie got a C- and wasn't a D was that Neo and Trinity were back. But you guys, you did not do any justice for Morpheus. And no justice for Agent Smith. Maybe next time. Call Lawrence Fishburne, please. That's my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Again, hopefully this felt like a flawless victory for YouTube. I think we nailed this one down pretty well. Check us out, linktr.ee/select screen. We're on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cash App, and Apple and Spotify podcasts. Super, super good stuff. I got a lot more coming for you guys this week. Look out for our Sing review by Jumpin' Jubilee. That'll be happening very, very soon. And I want to get back into Guardians of the Galaxy. Definitely want to do that very, very soon. Oh, look who jumped on. My man Clue said, stop watching it because it felt like the last Matrix. Pointless and slept on. Check your Discord. Okay, I'll definitely jump in the Discord here in just a moment. Other than that, guys, I appreciate it. Again, make sure to smack the like and share button. I gotta work on my Stream Deck, man. I don't know why it's why is it not there it goes. We got it. All right. Appreciate you guys so much, guys. Until next time, be kind to one another, guys. Happy 2022 to you. We're just getting started, though. This is going to be a great year. I can just tell. All right. Until next time, be kind to one another. My name's Select Screen, and I'm out.